Sorry, no bits.
No
No
bits
bits
for
on this one.
Yeah, all right.
This is serious work.
Normally we're oops all bits. This is no bits.
Everyone
I love how you
take
went
it
this.
seriously.
Yeah.
We all went.
We all are like, we all went.
I think this is a good start.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for something a little bit different. Instead of playing our pirate-themed adventure Plan C, we are going to be recapping a little bit, talking about some of our favorite moments, talking about maybe answering some of our questions, things we're looking forward to coming up, so that you can stay involved with the story even when you have a little bit less time. And also, if you have any questions along the way on this or any of the future episodes, you can leave them down and we'll try to get to them. My name is Chris Boyd. I will be your Andy Cohen for the day, joined by our wonderful cast.
Can I be Dorinda then?
That fits. Actually.
Sure, yeah. I'm Kyle. I play Tingus Pingus.
Which housewife are you, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're drafting
I have
housewives.
no
I
idea
think
what
you're
you guys are
Elisa
talking
Renna.
about.
I was just going to say.
You know what? I will trust you guys. I have zero
Yeah,
clue
you
what you're
give
talking
Lisa
about.
energy.
Bet. I'm in.
Hi, I'm Heather. I play Kithara, Faust, she, her pronouns. Give me a housewife. I am not a housewife. I'm a male wife. That's who I am.
I give you Anderson Cooper. I feel like he's a good
That's
Jason.
fair.
Oh, but I can't be Anderson
I want to be
Cooper.
Anderson
Come on,
Cooper.
right?
Fine, you're
Oh, that's
Anderson
true.
Cooper.
Yeah, that is weird.
I'm Anderson Cooper. Yes,
Fine.
my day is made.
We'll figure me out later.
Yeah, we'll dissect it later. I'm Maeve, and she, they pronouns. I play Riven.
And I'm Cameron, he, him pronouns, and I play Ul'dreyin. I'm the old man.
Yes,
I'm
the
the old
old
guy.
man.
Coach, Kit Kat, old man.
Riven.
Yeah, Riven
Yeah.
doesn't
We'll
give
figure it out.
herself a nickname.
We'll
That's
figure out
wild.
we'll figure out your nickname.
We need to give her a nickname.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Psycho.
Oh, jeez.
No, that's a diagnosis.
It's
Right,
come out
sorry.
a couple times.
That's different. We need a nickname.
We will visit it. We're actually going to use this. We are going to actually use this opportunity to talk about some of the behind the scenes stuff. Because even before we went live, we did go through a couple of adventures, Plan A and Plan B, if you will. Plan A, if you've seen episode 1, followed a pretty similar formula. Captain got a treasure map, follow it, racing to get to the end of it, and unfortunately did not really find a lot of what you were looking for. Some pretty big whammy of a treasure, honestly.
Hey, we always need
dug a
new
big hole.
kitchenware.
Dug a big
We have
hole.
some great kitchenware.
Great
Hey,
kitchen
my
roll.
charcuterie board slapped. All right.
That was better than the treasure.
I think that was the best part of Plan A.
Well,
Is that his Riven made her little charcuterie
Charcuterie
board.
board.
It
Yeah.
certainly wasn't the sun tea that we tried to make.
You know,
Why is
Yes.
it taking so long? I don't know.
No, sir.
And this was really the crew's first kind of foray into the, let's call it the competency level of the captain.
Yeah.
Or incompetency
Yeah.
level.
Yeah,
That
let's
would be
look
much
it
more accurate
Yeah.
of a
Or
descriptor.
it depends on if you want a high number or a low number.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Also, is Plan A where we initially started the piracy?
It hasn't come up yet on camera.
I don't think that's come up on camera. That was
Not yet.
Plan B.
That
Yeah.
was Plan B
That
where
was
we
Plan
really were
B.
doing that
Yeah.
one.
While charging into the ship
That we crashed into.
that was crashed into
All part of the plan.
because the
just-
crew
I'm sure it
was
did that?
Night
Who
sailing.
made that choice
Night
to
sailing.
Ul'dreyin was
Our fearless
very
not captain
against.
over here.
Kithara, you wanna talk about why you chose that?
why we night sailed? Because sneak attacks, and I know what I'm doing.
despite the fact
Are
that
you sure about that?
your navigator was very against this.
Navigator.
Yeah, our navigator.
Let's be real here. Navigator. Yeah, sure. Yeah, navigator's against this.
Y'all
be
should
fair-
question why I'm on the ship. Y'all should really question
when I
why
tell
I'm
you
on the
there
ship.
are
does,
questions.
but he's just like, you know what? We're just gonna let it ride.
Oh, I have notes. Those are Captain notes. I have notes. I have questions.
I'm afraid.
I've been chronicling every event.
I feel like you're the kind of person that has a dossier on all of us.
What? Like it's behind, like my character backstory? What? Don't. Yeah, I have a dossier on everybody.
I mean, night sailing didn't work out too well. I mean, there were orphans on the ship apparently.
Orphans.
So apparently
no, they
our
probably were
captain.
orphans. But
No,
like,
no. The thing that happens when everyone rolls a high insight except for your captain is that you learn that they are not orphans, but you have to give up all the loot anyways.
Yeah, we had that thing in the bag.
As
Because
an
we
orphan,
we
I said it
literally
was okay.
we had all the treasure, and then all of a sudden the guy said, "Oh, I know you, Captain," and he said we were both orphans together, and then all of a sudden we no longer had the treasure.
It was a real pain.
You can't steal from orphans.
You can't.
You can.
I mean,
Yes, you
but,
can.
But they're no
you can't
longer
steal
orphans.
from orphans, but here's the problem.
They found a family.
When
do you
you're
mean
an
they're no longer
adult,
orphans?
you're no longer an
They found a
orphan.
family, Chris.
Manifest your own destiny. Let's be real. So yeah, I was like
Yeah,
plan
plan
A and plan B. We're successful yet not successful. So taking everything there, we all basically were like, maybe we'll
Mutiny?
fix plan C.
Yeah.
My favorite thing was still Riven and Drin up in the crow's nest, like sort of deconstructing everything and then making their little bet.
Yeah.
Where they basically they ended up having a handshake that lasted for a very, very uncomfortable length
That's
of time.
true.
And Drin got so stressed out because Riven was like, well, I'll make you a bet that next time I think that you're gonna have fun on our next adventure, which would be Plan C. And what did Riven want if she was right?
Oh, I think to sing a song, like a sail song. I think that's what it was, wasn't it? I don't
Was it for him to sing?
Yeah,
Sea
I think.
shanties.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sea
Drin had to
shanties.
learn and participate in sea shanties.
Right,
Yeah.
because Riven's like obsessed with sea shanties, and yeah, she kind of enticed you to watch the sailors kind of.
Yeah, she was like, while you're up here in the crow's nest, like that is the lifeblood of, sort of making the long days go by. And Drin was so stressed out by how long the handshake was taking because he doesn't know what interaction is anymore.
Really?
He
And
truly
neither
doesn't.
does Riven in a different way.
So you put the two of them together, and it's just like two dogs that grew up during COVID that didn't know other dogs. You know what I'm talking about? and like,
And then met a dog for the first time
Yeah,
and said,
this is
"What
the
are
first
you?
time.
What am I?"
yeah. So Drin was like, I want bread. Just to make it stop.
yeah.
But the funny thing, I think, behind the scenes that no one would see is that we, during streams and recordings, is that we have like a behind the scenes chat, so we're not like having side convos.
Yeah.
And a part of that entire thing, I was sitting here going, "Grumpy Sunshine Trope," and we were
Oh
making
yeah,
memes
we were
about
making
it
memes
the
about it
entire
left and
time.
right. Oh, it was great.
And it was I think that first initial thing that we're like, okay, Grumpy Sunshine, those two are gonna be besties. It's like it's both sides of the table
Just
have,
we're so excited
like,
to watch this play out
oh
over
my God.
here.
We were just like hee 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 hee. Very
Honestly,
excited.
in a similar way, I feel like on this side, I'm excited to watch like you guys just like battle on who went to college longer. Like every time there's like a history check or anything, you always are like, "No, I went to college. No, I went to college."
Like I made that backstory as like a throwaway because I was like, it'd be really funny to just be like the pseudo incompetent college grad who was an athlete and got a full ride for being an athlete, and then like the amount of times I've been able to be like, wait, I went to college, and it's not like a stretch for it to be something reasonable. Be like, yeah, I probably would have learned about this, or I would have done something related
This
to
is
this
why
in
you
college.
take your gen eds, people.
Yeah,
That one right
attention,
there.
yes.
Meanwhile, I excelled in college, cat college, if you will, of secrets. Secrets. Cat
oh,
college.
Sea-Crets?
Yes.
Ah,
Secrets.
yes, I see.
How many puns
circle.
can we make with C in them?
A lot.
It's a lot.
Too many.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Too
Got a
many to
running
count.
doc. Speaking of that, so do we have a verdict? Did Drin have fun?
Yeah, I was actually going to
was-
ask that.
Did Drin have fun on Plan C?
I don't know if I feel like I should answer that right now.
I
I feel like Riven needs to ask him.
Well, wait.
I-
Do we think Plan C is over yet?
Yeah, that's what I was
Oh yeah,
about
I
to
think
say
well
is-
because
Yeah.
I think Plan C was
To get the treasure.
To get that treasure.
So we
that
are going to
result-
hard define it as
Yeah.
us getting out of that temple.
Yeah, I think that was the end of Plan C, and then now we're on to side quests.
C.1.
You know.
yeah.
Yeah,
To
we
get
don't have any
beverages.
more branding.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah,
So-
now
Yeah,
now
we
we're
didn't get
now
that
we're on
far.
our little beverage quest.
Can we just talk about
New arc.
that the
Yeah,
captain
or
just
hating Timor.
randomly like pulled a scroll out and did a giant spell and then blew
brother.
up
Okay.
a mountain?
Yes. Yeah,
Show of
let me do a
hands.
quick.
Who thinks that he knew what actually did know what he was doing?
Oh, I'm so torn.
Because
But
I'm
he did or
really
he
torn.
didn't?
I think that
Did.
he might have. I still think that he might be playing up the incompetence a little bit. I'm not sure.
I think we'll find out more once he actually becomes king and like
Yeah.
what decisions he makes.
To maybe clue people in just in case they haven't seen it
Yeah.
or haven't seen the whole thing. So episode 1, Plan C, backing up a tiny bit, Plan B was to look for a ship, a rich merchant ship that happened to be manned by orphans. This was unknown at the time, commanded by Pirate Queen Captain Scarlet. All of the pirate armada that is part of this pirate republic is all looking for the same ship. And it is, in fact, the fromage that finds it first.
What was the queso at the time, actually?
No. No. The
Was
queso was after the first one. We
that's
we
right.
rebranded
We
after
switched
the
the
first
name.
one.
We've rebranded
Yeah,
so many
La
times.
Queso.
La queso,
La queso.
La
into
queso.
the
La-
fromage.
Yeah.
That's
and
right.
the
Right.
fromage.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. And
Boat lore.
Yeah.
now that all of these pirate crews are searching for this boat that you have all found, Captain Wilmund decides to look for this other treasure on a different treasure map because all the pirates are going to be preoccupied, is the thought.
The treasure map they got in a 2-for-1 sale.
Two for one sale. The plan A, same as plan C, works well. 2-for-1 sale. You arrive at that island, but on the way, find an
Jim.
ex-member of Captain Scarlet's
Yep,
crew
Jim.
and get some information that Captain Scarlet is heading to the same island.
And then it was
Perhaps
a
for the
distraction
same treasure.
instead.
Yes.
It was a ruse, if you will.
Yes.
A charade.
Like a rouge because she's Scarlet. Sorry. I'll leave.
I feel like we need a jar for like puns and just like put a quarter, some sort of coin in the pun jar.
That's our production budget. It's going to
Yeah,
skyrocket.
To the moon.
I am gonna make a pun jar. Just wait. It'll be coming
I'm
next
There
week.
only
has
gonna
to be
put
a
pennies in it
pun
because pennies are worth
on the
something now.
pun jar.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just you wait.
But to that, yeah, does it sound like he knew what was going on, or can you just fail upwards enough? Because
That much? Can you
that
fail
is-
upwards? That's
I think at a
I-
certain point, a ratio, kind of like, rolling the dice, at a certain point that like you eventually will roll a nat 20.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like how he's like, I fully do believe he's incompetent, but I have some stuff in game that I want to explore with my character and the captain, or even like some other like back stuff. Because me as a player, I'm not even like fully sure that like he is like competent yet incompetent. Because I want to explore it in character, but I think he's failed forward enough with what kind of either he's done in life to the point that like something's got to go right at a certain point, even if it didn't really go right.
Yeah.
Well, it's also part of that, like, rather be lucky than good.
Yeah.
I think that's how he just lives his life. He's just like, windfalls.
Well, I mean, like he's already been like from the brief backstory that we've gotten is that like he's an orphan
Who got adopted
by
by
a
family.
very wealthy family. There, lucky already. Like, and then had enough money to not do his duties to become a pirate. Like that's just a very lucky person.
Who's wealthy and then goes, I want to be a pirate. I essentially who's
Oh,
looked
I don't
at,
know.
like,
Who does
as,
do that?
Listen here.
Hello, pot.
Kettle.
What? Couldn't be me. What?
I feel like the distinction is, though, for me, I do legitimately think that he's incompetent. I just don't think that he's sharing all the information that he has with the crew.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
That's
agree.
Where I feel like there's a distinction. I do think he's incompetent, but I don't think that he's telling us everything.
See,
And that's where I have concerns.
I think incompetent, I think, is like not even like the right term. I think that he's just like, because I think he might have some, like you can fail upward, but you do have to have some layer of talent of something.
Yeah.
And like, perchance he is a like powerful thing that just doesn't care. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
What if he's actually just a bard with a dummy high charisma score and we're
Right.
all just like,
Right.
unable to catch on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has like a 25 charisma or something like that.
right?
Like I think that's totally possible,
Yeah.
and he's just charmed all of us without us really knowing. Even with your background, your
It's, I don't know if charmed is the right word since Riven wants to kill him.
Yeah. Captain.
charmed, right? As
Yeah.
in, like he's just tricking all of us.
I'm still worried about the fact that Tybalt might have overheard you saying, "Do you want to kill him?"
Honestly, Maeve, hope he did. Riven, I don't know if she hopes or not. I hope he did because I feel like that would be so interesting to see, like, Tybalt,
I
like,
would love to see that play out.
realize that we hate his guts a little bit. I mean, Riven more than I think maybe Kithara and everyone else does, but, like, I think it would be an interesting dynamic if we see Tybalt, like, almost, like, defend the captain in a way.
It would
What do
be
you guys
neat.
think?
It would certainly be a time for us to have, like, that sort of interaction.
Especially because, I mean, he's a cleric, right?
Well, we don't know, but
Well-
he has some form of holy magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. Kithara already kind of made, like, that kind of realization after the fall of Captain Scarlet with Riven going, where's the allegiance there
Yeah.
with you?
Well, we should rewind a little bit to
Yeah,
how.
let's-
Yeah,
Captain
we'll get
Scarlet-
there.
Yeah,
These are segueing in
rewind.
such ways.
Let's catch up even to Tybalt as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. we just
And,
give a
and
whole
actually, to your earlier question or reference, which did the captain even know what scroll he was using and casting at the top of the hill?
Yeah.
You get to the top of this hill, the end of this treasure map. You start digging,
Yep.
unearth this very smooth stone for underneath a bunch of dirt with
Yeah.
arcane carvings, and before you know it, your captain is pulling scrolls out of their coat and starts reading. And
We
then we
were
did
like,
high five and then fall.
we thought we were out of harm's way. We were like,
we were like, oh, yeah,
oh,
we're back
no.
up 30 feet. We defined 30 feet. Should have gone 35.
no, I should
Should've
have
gone
used, I
35.
should have used my cat, like the cat reflexes to go double that. I would at least
Oh.
gotten almost maybe 120.
That's fair. I mean, I
And you all fall and I go,
have, well,
huh.
no, I have a movement speed of 35 native. I could have gotten out.
Would we have? I'm curious. Had we added an extra 5?
Yeah, he said a 30-foot hole opens up.
Okay.
well,
so maybe.
60 because radius.
Oh, so
well-
I would have been able to get out of it. Had
Yeah,
I
but
used
we only
my
had
stuff.
to get the radius. We didn't have to get the diameter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who knows?
So you were maybe.
Maybe.
You'll never know.
It was
All I know
halfway.
is Riven was right in the middle.
the only thing that I
Yeah.
know is that you have wings.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
And we'll explore that, obviously later because that is a big thing.
Oh, that's gotta be an on-camera thing, but, like, I want to
I don't know
know.
what you're talking about.
yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Me as the creator of the character don't know what you're talking
I don't know
about.
what you're talking about.
What you talking about?
I do know that Chris was not expecting me to do that.
I don't think any of us were. Expecting
Yeah.
I knew you had a secret. I did not expect it to be revealed, or at least part of those secrets be revealed so early. And it's wild to see how
Yeah.
role play and events happen.
It is.
That you have to almost it's like, okay, this person, it could die. Okay, do I finally like release this thing if this is something that I can do and it could save someone potentially? Do I do it?
Because obviously, I knew the Drin had wings.
What shocker?
No
You knew?
shock. I know. Shock and surprise. And I actually had to have a conversation with Maeve about the fact I was like, hey, you sit next to me. If you see anything on my character sheet that doesn't make sense, no, you didn't. It's fine.
Meanwhile, I'm not looking.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what?
I had fully expected
Just
that,
out here,
like,
just whoosh.
Meanwhile, I'm
Yeah.
so like nosy at that point going,
I had fully
I know,
expected
right?
it was going to come up like way down. Like it was something that I had planned to hang on to.
How long did you
Season
think you were gonna
finale.
hang on to that?
Probably, I was. Well, here's the thing. I knew what the trigger was going to be. I had already decided because
Yeah.
I know who. I know. I won't. Explain. How Drin has wings, but I know who he is as a person. I had thought a lot about. The fact that he wasn't going to be open about it with the crew, and I was like, okay, what would make him be open about it? And I was like, okay, life or death scenario. That was
Yeah.
always intended to be. I was like, that's the only scenario that I can anticipate that he would, bamf out the wings, and then Riven, who he's just,
The closest to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, recently bonded too.
very
like,
recently
with
had a
Yvette.
conversation with, and he, as far as he knew, because it was a long fall, he was worried she was going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay, I have to
Well, and like also like
reach, and I have to try to do this.
I mean, and you could have in a way like let her, but I feel like especially with that session 0 conversation of like her Riven like having this like light on life and
Exactly.
very like the synopsis of the conversation, she's so excited to be a pirate. That's all she's ever wanted.
She has so much to look forward to.
She's
Yeah.
very she wants Ul'dreyin to have a happy like idea of it, and so like to see her falling, I think that was the right move.
It was sort of like this image of like, okay, you as someone who's like Ul'dreyin as someone who's very old and has so much behind him is seeing someone who has so much in front of them falling potentially to their death.
Yeah.
And that was unacceptable.
I feel like there also would have been a very wild like irony had that not been like explored or brought up, that had Riven, with how much she admires Captain Scarlet and what happens, had to have like also like died as well.
Oh, that would have been brutal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like those kind of things, like you it's almost like you didn't intend to, but like you were so enraptured with I want to meet her. You just meet her in the afterlife,
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
get that signature then.
But that's also like how the dice go, right? That's why we
Yeah.
play the game.
Yeah.
It is.
Because we can't make those choices. The
Which
dice
was
gods have
actually
to.
really fun for me because I feel like so often you hang on to choices, you hang on to secrets like that for so long.
Yeah.
And so it's really fun.
It is really fun for just
have it
episode
out
1.
immediately.
Yeah.
And we're like,
And now have
But
everyone
there's still,
interact.
Yeah.
and there's still intrigue. Like, I mean, we don't, as players,
won't talk
as
to us.
well, like,
You're the
do
only
not
ones
know what's going on with the wings.
Well, and you're the only one that's asked.
yeah, I was
it.
gonna
Yeah.
say, Tingus has
Yeah.
been the only one
Yeah.
that
No one has
asked.
asked.
Oh, Tingus wants to know
Yeah.
all the information.
Right.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a nosy little guy.
Oh, he's a nosy. He's certainly not little.
I'm
He's 7
very
foot
glad-
tall.
I'm very glad we've kind of gotten to salvage the slow burn in a way, but now that slow burn is much more front and center in front of everybody. It wasn't really the intention. Obviously, like in hindsight, it's like, oh, they're all falling. Like, of course, they're like,
Oh wait,
Yeah.
they're level 3
But,
and they
like,
have barely any health.
right.
Whoopsie.
Yeah.
it's
Whoops.
fine.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I kept asking Chris. I was like, how many
much-
feet up are we? How many feet up are we?
A bunch, you know.
How many feet up? And I'm doing
that
the
enough.
yeah, I'm doing the math in my head, and I'm like, no, Chris, I need a number. I was like,
That's so funny.
because I need to know if permadeath is on the table here.
Probably.
No, we wouldn't have been like
Well,
permadead. Oh, actually,
I don't know.
Maybe
I-
as a
yeah.
party don't
some
have a character
permadeath
healer.
was on the table.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
Rocks fell, Scarlet dies.
Yeah, well,
Right.
yeah.
Rocks fell.
I
Riven
love
cries.
that. That's so Shakespearean.
Scarlet dies.
Yeah, because Queen Scarlet was
Yeah.
crushed under the rocks
Yeah.
that our captain
R.I.P.
inadvertently created boulders. that-
Inadvertently.
Well, we
We're
don't
gonna
know.
ride that line forever.
Yeah. But so he killed the pirate queen, making him the
De facto.
pirate king.
Hooray.
Yes, Scarlet was at the bottom with her closest officers of the crew when all of the rocks fell, exploring this underground dungeon for like some purposes, but really it's a temple, an ancient temple. And you meet first mate, Mai Kim, second officer, Tybalt, and quartermaster Hodge. And Mai is very distressed, and when they realize the extent of what has happened as well, and she does leave very unhappy and swearing revenge with Hodge, as Tybalt actually joins the crew, as his loyalty is technically to the crown itself, not to any one individual captain. Though he does mistake Kithara as captain. for that period.
Understandable.
It's the hat.
I mean, I was about to say, it's a hat.
the hat that I present myself.
Many
It's fine.
feathers.
Also, just like maybe Catkin bias, just like they're competent.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
That was something I was kind of thinking of. Is outside of the fact that like how Kithara like holds herself in most of these things, was there a bias potentially there because of like Catkin culture and what we learn growing up and getting into different colleges, which she eventually asked Tybalt about later. Is there a bias there? Like you seem pretty competent. Maybe this is your crew.
Tybalt is a catkin, to clarify.
Yeah,
Yes,
Tybalt
yeah,
actually said
Tybalt's
that.
catkin.
Oh,
yeah.
It was probably just very brief as part, and a lot was going on in that instance.
Yeah.
So Tybalt is a catkin.
Yeah.
He is.
Wait, there was a lot going on.
Like, yeah, fair enough.
Could have fooled me.
It was a dwarf with a cannon. We barely touched it.
Yeah, right.
We said screw that. There's
Yeah.
a cat.
Yeah.
Just cats.
Portable cannon. I don't know. I was scared of the portable cannon.
You were really scared.
I
of
was
portable cannon,
terrified.
and I was just over here like, that's fine.
I was looking at how many hit points we had, and I was
Yeah.
thinking,
Yeah.
hit points, portable cannon. Hit points, portable cannon, blast radius.
No.
Right.
Tingus is over
Honestly,
here just YOLO.
we're very
just
lucky
we're here.
to specifically that not only did my swear revenge, but that she specifically swore that Scarlet should get it herself.
Yeah.
Because
That-
if my
That's going to be exciting
right,
later.
and if my
that's
had
the
decided
thing.
she wanted revenge in the moment, I don't think we make it out of
Oh,
that.
no.
We're
if
goners.
we had
Yeah.
to fight, we're screwed.
Yeah.
Well, and even so, like with like Tybalt basically cut off a finger, which I know there's going to be some sort of reincarnation, revivified type attempt somewhere is going, okay, she's wanting Scarlet to get revenge. And now, I think me as Kithara is thinking, okay, I need to keep an eye on that. But also, is there a chance that Captain Scarlet, say she comes back, does she actually, would she actually take revenge?
That's true.
Would she
Yeah.
be able to understand that, this was not intended?
And who is the site of her revenge? That I definitely had that thought too. Because is it captain or is it the whole ship? Is it does she, and what story is my telling as well? Because though she is the one that is going to be receiving revenge, she doesn't know what happened or who it was. Only my story is going to be what
My
is being
point of
told.
view
And
is
Hodge.
just that a bunch
The
of
other,
rocks.
the other thing with that is who, in terms of my stories, who does she tell Captain Scarlet who our captain is?
Right.
Because she talked to Kithara and addressed
Oh,
you.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
even think about that.
and
she left before we clarified.
Before we could clarify anything. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
So you might be in the hot seat, friend.
Whatever. It's fine.
Weird shit out of luck.
later. Wow. The
That's
burden
later
of,
me's problem.
That's later me's problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But that is an
That's 16
interesting
episodes
that is
from
an
now.
interesting
yeah,
thought.
yeah, 16, 20 episodes from now, it comes back,
right.
just Kithara, you killed my
okay.
captain.
Prepare to
I
die.
died.
Yeah.
I did nothing of the sort.
Well, I mean, and we did ask Chris, how easy is it to find someone who can resurrect? And
Yeah, because
there-
of the gods.
and it's not.
Yeah.
Well, the other
Another
part of
part of
that,
it.
the other part of that is what kind of resurrection is it going to be? Is it going to be reincarnation, where it's like
Will it
be a
Captain Scarlet
partial
comes back,
True
resurrection.
resurrection.
or true resurrection where they come back
because
as
it's not
themselves?
It's not going to be revivified because we're too
Yeah.
past far gone.
You'd also need the whole
Also,
body
You
for
need
that.
the
the
whole
body
body,
is
and
Yeah.
so that was a couple
pancake.
tiny things.
Well,
Tybalt also did cast a spell,
Which
on
is,
the
I'm
finger that was
wondering,
removed
you know,
to buy
Yeah.
extra time
Oh, what's
Yeah.
it called?
as like a
Yeah.
last parting
Yeah.
gift. And the truth is, the most of the high level clerics are involved with one main religion as part of the largest empire in the world. They're not bringing back a pirate queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the pirate queen
Especially
who has
the pirate
been.
queen.
or
yeah.
do they lie
do-
about who
So
she
how
is?
do you find
Someone
willing, and how close are they?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll touch on this later, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
parties on an island with a necromancer?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, that was
True.
another thing was, maybe there's another way. There's a necromantic way of it. I know that that spell was cast on the finger, which I think is preserve life. There's a spell
We
that
asked
Something
clerics-
like that.
We
that
asked
basically make
Tybalt
sure they
about
don't
it.
come back as say a revenant. That was another kind of thing that crossed my mind as someone who does typically cleric main is it, they're going to have to find someone that potentially keeps casting that on the
Because
thing.
it only lasts so long.
Because it lasts so long.
It lasts like 7 days.
10, I think.
10
Yeah.
days.
So
Yeah.
then we're sitting
it
here.
extends 10, so
10.
however
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
So can they find someone now that Tybalt's gone, to keep that up, or does she come back potentially as a revenant? Because revenants, their whole deal is
Revenge.
Revenge. Did she die with revenge in her heart, or what's happening there? Does she truly want to seek revenge? I
Right.
think that's the thing, like on Kithara's mind, knowing that like, wait a minute,
We do
They
know
wanna
from
bring her
Jim
back.
that she was, in
Pretty
his
vicious.
description, unnecessarily
Yes.
cruel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I was an unnecessarily cruel person and I had the most coveted seat of power in, all of piratedom, and then I'm looking for because we know that she was there looking for a super powerful weapon because she was so paranoid.
Super powerful religious weapon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I come back, I'm going to want revenge on the people that took my seat.
Right, especially with my story of what happened in her ear, and I mean, we only briefly kind of found that like Mai and her may have like a relationship, so there's like that element of it too. Like, she's gonna trust Mai's story more than she's gonna trust anyone else's story.
Even if she let's say even hypothetically that she believes our story, right?
That we had no intention
it was an
of this.
accident.
Yeah.
If I'm her, I'm still going to try to...
I don't think she cares.
I don't think she cares because she wants the seat back anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like...
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see kind of how that plays out in the future, because there is obviously so many what ifs, and it's kind of one of those things like you try not to necessarily meta game of like, we've all kind of played D&D in some sense. We understand, these are things you can encounter, especially like me as a dungeon master, kind of knowing certain things and going, okay, I know this as a player, but like, would my character know this?
Yeah, that's always the push and
I went to
pull.
college.
Right.
Would I know this in character, and kind of knowing how to separate that, because I do keep like a little conspiracy board off to the side. Like, here's what I'm thinking.
You and I are very alike. We both have the little mental conspiracy.
the little board
or
of like,
physical.
here's what I know, and then okay, would my character know this? How do I ask about it in game, to a way that like, would I find that information? And then from there start building additional questions from like my character. Because that's kind of how I like look at in-game information. That's why I build characters that are all about trying to get knowledge, because it plays off into me being a note taker.
See, that's the exact opposite of how I play. I always play like mid to low intelligence characters just because I, as a player, don't want to think about that stuff. And I'm so easily just be like, oh, I know what that is, but my character, nah, he's a big dummy. He doesn't know any
He's
of
a
this.
Sambo. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah,
I
but
think-
it's like, it's interesting now just because like college, like the amount of times that I've been able to say, wait, I've went to college has been astounding. And I feel like it's not a stretch to be like, wait a minute, I probably did learn about this. Let me see if I remember anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, the dice have been great to me in that. I don't remember
Yes,
a dang
surprisingly.
thing.
Yeah.
It's just my college rolls have been terrible.
I think
Which
that's
kind of plays into the character.
I think that's where I struggle a little bit, because like Riven has no really knowledge of the world in general, or the political sphere, or like anything. Like,
Yeah,
she
'cause-
only knows Scarlet. But me as a player, I'm like, oh, what about this option, this option, this option? I'm like, no, you can't. Like, you can't do that. Like, you have to like be like, okay, what was my character's motive? What would be my motive? To, like, what would they ask? What would they care about? Like she only cares about Captain Scarlet in this moment. Like, she doesn't care about like anything else. So like, she's not gonna ask questions. She's just gonna be crying like that,
Or
like,
screaming.
or
Yeah.
screaming, or like or being angry
that
at
was
the
so
captain.
dramatic.
Like,
Okay, can we talk about how good that was?
Yeah, right? Like, my lord. Like, I wanted to just be here and be like, I thought this was a comedy show. Like, what are we doing?
Whoa, things got really serious.
Really? Yeah, episode
yeah.
2, just tears.
Yeah.
Active mourning.
like,
And it's
yeah.
just like, this was supposed to be funny.
But like that's the great thing about like having, coming into something that's a comedy show, or at least is supposed to lean on that more kind of levity side of things. So then when we do get hit with something that's really important, and like a death of someone that like at least one character has such like a tie to, and things like that, is it hits harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It hits harder in the grand scheme of things, and that truly is what makes like the storytelling aspect of this like really good. Because what are
Yeah.
the consequences afterwards? We
Right.
can still make jokes, but then there are some really serious bits in here.
Especially coming from a character like Riven too, who has just been silly, chaotic craziness. Like I really enjoyed playing like the juxtaposition of like her just being an absolute misery and despair, and her whole goal in life just being upended,
Get ripped away from you,
literally ripped away from her, and not like, and what I like had to kind of think about, like, how would she react in that moment, and like, because that is a big part, like, and my favorite, like, I'm, you know, not name drops, we all know who like this, but like, is when players who play silly, funny, like lighthearted characters do have this terrible, horrible either like thing happen or backstory or whatever. Like those are the ones that like are intriguing, and because it gives more levity to when levity is there and more despair when it is there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, because
It's
I mean, comedy and despair are
They're
kind
two
of
sides of the
deeply-
same coin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's what
Well,
truly what theater is. That's
Yeah.
why we have the mask of laughing and sadness. You know, you have to have both in order to tell compelling stories.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, like, if
Makes the jokes
everything's
funnier,
supposed to be,
too.
if everything's supposed to be funny, then nothing is funny.
Right.
It's just how it is.
It gets old. It gets boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that we talked about with character creation, because
Yeah.
Ul'dreyin is a character that is much more.
Serious.
Yeah.
Straight man. Like
Yeah, he's the straight man of the group.
I wanted to say I'm surprised at how little comedy I've had the ability to do with Tingus. I like Tingus is such a ridiculous character, especially given the setting. I was like, it's gonna come up everywhere. No, I've also been playing the straight man the whole time, and it's like, yeah, I have little quips here and there with Kithara, where it's just like when you were yelling to the boat, you're just like, "Hello." I was like, "Yes, I'm right here." You don't
I
have
feel
to
like
yell.
we're kind of like
Just-
the boards that like the jokes bounce off.
Yeah, right. But like it plays in really well because you also still find comedic bits, and so do I. And it's like that's I
Just
think-
different types of comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
how it's delivered.
And we
too.
talked about that a lot with, I was like, cool, because I came in wanting to play a character that did not belong on a boat, that was much more serious, that was like very serious. And I was like, do I need to change my character? And everyone went, no.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Don't worry,
So
you're not
you
the,
don't.
Just- yeah.
you're not the
Don't.
only one
We
on the
need
boat
it.
who might not know what's going on. It is very fine.
It's possible that there's like two of us who don't know what's going
Well, speaking
on.
of not knowing what's going on, I mean, this was also in like session 0.5 was Kithara giving the class on sailing, and I brought you all handouts to
yeah.
reference because she was like, "Oh no, this crew. Let me get you all up to speed and let me teach you some things a little bit."
Which has been very helpful as a player who
Yes,
doesn't know terms.
Yeah.
Table, yes.
The
made little
fact that like
handouts.
that side of the table had like no
I was like, "Here you go."
reference for
Wait,
boats
okay, bow
was really
is-
funny. The front.
Front.
I know you want it. It's a 2 B's.
And we all didn't. It's like, oh man, where's my notebook?
Bow tip. 3 letters.
Yes, the tip.
Yeah, we're
Sure. Not only was it with Scarlet dying in this whole kind of turmoil, also the captain's getting promoted,
Yeah.
and
Promoted's a small word.
there is no real time to breathe either. You're still on mission.
Yep.
You're in this like ancient temple that belongs to a god who is lore-wise not very popular either. Like this is not a predominantly worshipped god.
It's
like
Elomare is the
Elomare
temple we were
is
in.
the temple you were in,
Yeah.
god of balance, and you know you're faced with the double doors of riddles that are almost like. I put it in quotes because it's like
I love riddles.
if you kind of think to some of them, they're really meant more so to be like educational in
Yeah.
nature.
Right,
That's why we
You had,
succeeded.
you had unlimited tries.
Well, that's the thing is
there was no penalties.
Yeah.
Which
it
I
was
thought
more
was
about
really
teaching what-
interesting was that there was no direct consequence.
For getting it wrong.
Yeah.
Like there were no spears. The floor didn't,
We kept on
Didn't
waiting to
become
be like,
lava.
does something happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
I get smited.
Question
Yeah.
I forget. It was
Smoked.
you and I were having a
Smoked,
really
not
hard
smited.
time.
Yeah.
Um.
It was my riddle.
Yeah. it was your
Wait,
riddle.
you're like, why is
Like,
mine
I was
difficult?
like, why is mine?
As
the most
a player, I was
difficult?
just like, oh yeah, I know what the answer is for that.
Yeah.
Just like,
Could
I
let
got
me
it.
know.
Discord
Also-
messages real quick. Like,
Well, I did. I said it like 3 times. I was like,
I
it's
don't
all
know.
about
I
intent.
felt like
I did get you to go.
Yeah, I know.
But
And that's why you told me. It's like, yeah, it doesn't answer to you.
Yeah, it doesn't answer. Well, right.
we were like,
You already got one.
Right.
But after the
No brownie
party
points.
like demonstrates some learning of balance, you're allowed into the actual chapel portion. You're really just
I didn't
forced
get in
to
trouble for
reflect.
touching random items, and that made me
Yeah.
a little upset.
Church. You're encouraged to reflect on yourself, some more publicly than others.
Yeah, I got
And-
questions for you.
And ultimately kind of got the only treasure win the party has received, both in
Yeah.
gold, silver, jewels,
Magic
and
bowl.
the magic
also
bowl
a
and the
bowl.
journal.
Yeah.
That
there
Kithara,
was
Kithara
a-
has both.
And
Oh,
there
that's
was
true.
a journal kind of detailing a previous adventurer's search for this blade that Captain Scarlet was after. But all of that happened
It was fast.
Very fast.
with zero time to kind of grieve and or reflect on
And yeah, I was
this.
about to say.
or
I mean,
talk about the new dynamic because the captain
Yeah.
wanted to press forward so immediately.
Well, it's also like I've only had a chance to talk to you briefly to try and get answers out of. You said you're not from this plane.
I don't know what you're talking
well,
about.
also,
Oh, I
That
do.
wasn't me.
Yeah,
Uh-huh. I got
What are you talking
questions
about?
for you.
we have questions for both of them.
Yeah,
It's fine.
That was whatever.
Yeah, mine makes sense.
Yeah.
You're literally
And then
from the
I-
College of Secrets. There's no way you don't have secrets.
Yeah, right. And then nobody understood what I said.
Yep.
Because
That
I was
was
the
so
only
smart, and I'm
one.
so
what did you say it in?
mad.
What language was it?
It was in
Goblin?
Gnomish.
Oh, Gnomish.
You did
Gnomish.
Gnomish, and well, we each kind of, it was like, once Kithara realized, like, okay, can I see anything on this book? Can I read it? And you were like, what language is your favorite? And I went, oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is one of those like intent or like, as a DM, you like, oh yeah, I'm going to write this thing, and this is exactly how they're going to do it. I'm like, oh, they're all gonna like whisper into the book and then proudly announce
Yeah.
what they're gonna do. And everyone's like, I need to confess all of my sins. Right?
Yeah, that's
What's the
true.
worst thing I've ever
an
done?
example.
And that's,
Like,
and
that
that's why I was like,
not-
I'm not saying a dang thing without a warrant. Just,
And I think it's kind of brilliant that you decided to, okay, we're reading it in a language, and then
Well,
you
Tingus has
decided
got
to.
secrets.
Well, and I mean, like the fact that you chose to speak it in a different language, like that was kind of brilliant that we were supposed to speak it out. And then we all were like, the rest of us were like, oh, we're just going to say it out loud, whatever, in common. And you went, I'm keeping my secrets. Let me speak it in a language that none of y'all know.
yeah.
I do think when I wrote it, because I was very intentional about putting like, you need to do the first part, comma, proudly.
Oh, you
announce
wrote it
what
like
you're
a
gonna
Magic
do
the
for-
Gathering card.
And I was really
Reading
I
the
didn't
card
maybe I didn't
explains the
pause
card.
verbally enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it was supposed the proudly was in there in the middle to emphasize the back half, not the
Not
front
the-
half.
Yeah.
But I
Right.
think just in listening auditorily, everyone's like, "Oh, proudly, we gotta say a
Well,
bad
I still
word."
think
Right.
I still think our interpretation led to better storytelling,
True.
anyways.
Yep. Yeah, don't disagree.
Because now we have questions.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
there's now additional things like, wait a minute.
because I said, well, just to recap, because I think some people don't know what we said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
said that because we had to talk about, okay, what have you done to unbalance this
Things.
Yeah.
this plane, and how are you going to fix it? I said that I had run twice, and that to make up for it, I was going to keep these peoples alive.
No, you said these fools.
Okay, I didn't
Direct
insult you.
quote.
I didn't
Direct
insult you.
quote.
I couldn't remember what word I used.
This
Yeah.
one remembers.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember. Like
He called
Pepper
me a
Farms.
fool.
Pepper
Yeah.
Farms remembers.
You're gonna be trouble for Drin.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
gonna be such a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Because he doesn't want to talk about anything.
Oh, Tingus loves to talk. That's all Tingus wants to do is
Yeah.
talk.
Tingus is a yapper.
Drin doesn't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
Drin doesn't know how
Got
to
the gift
talk.
of gab.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to talk, and you'll learn why he doesn't know how to talk.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well,
Well, it's probably because you're ancient and have chosen a life of solitude.
I'm
Just-
silent treatment.
Just your best friend is a cat, and it's not
It
this
is-
cat that talks.
Yeah.
I wonder if it would have been different.
My best friend
Sasha could
is
talk.
yeah.
I
But yeah, what did you say? Was
Passing
your
the buck real
unbalance?
quick.
I didn't say anything. I don't know.
Do you want me to say it for you? Because
Yeah,
I
we'll say it for
remember.
you.
So Riven said that she.
Go ahead.
Oh, you're actually not gonna
The
All right,
call out.
so Riven said that she unbalanced things by coming to this plane.
Being brought to
By
this
By being
plane.
brought to this plane.
Yes.
That's
is the words I
important.
said.
Okay,
Being
I
brought.
don't remember what you said.
And then I
is-
said that I would balance the world by making sure that all the animals in the ocean feel safe and taken care of. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say about that. Moving
I
on.
have so many questions. I have so many questions.
Kithara,
Oh.
what did you say?
Yeah, Kithara talked about how she didn't save someone that was really important to her, and how she was never going to let that happen again. And it's almost kind of interesting how much of like a foil that kind of also
So themes of
with-
sacrifice
there is
and
sacrifice
death.
in some way that like I kind of clocked that once I kind of figured it out and went, oh, okay, that's another thing, because we're eventually going to explore why we have such a contested relationship.
You don't like that Saja is with me.
That's a whole thing to deal with later.
But I also feel like that in that moment that we were doing this, Riven had some issues with you too, because she was still pissed about how you reacted to Captain Scarlet and how you reacted to Captain Scarlet. And
True.
I don't know if you remember this, but when we were about to do it, she was giving some mad sass to you, which is not common for Riven to give to Kit Kat. And so that there was some animosity at that moment.
like, why aren't you feeling
Why aren't you
certain
starting it?
things?
Why aren't you saying anything?
Which,
Yeah.
I mean, she did. It was like, hey, a moment of silence, guys. Did anyone have anything to say?
I also
Let's
poured
be
some out for the
respectful.
homie.
Right.
Yeah.
But she got mad. She got mad at you for not speaking up and not going first. And so she stepped in. I thought that was like an interesting kind of like
Which is
dynamic
another
too
thing
that
to
just added.
explore on that one. Yeah. So we'll see. Maybe if Kithara's backstory, who that was,
Right.
and things gets explored at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Tingus kept his secrets.
Yeah, but the
But
audience
he
didn't. So what did he
said-
say?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Oh, he didn't say nothing. I ain't no snitch.
Do you want me to say what he said?
No, I know what I said.
I'm like,
No,
I
no,
remember.
Tingus-
I speak Gnomish.
Yeah, right?
Cam's like, I'm just going to spill
Listen,
everyone's
Just let me
secret.
pull out my notes.
I once in a home game reminded a player what his own Goliath herd was named because he forgot.
Hilarious.
I pulled up my notes and he's like, "Oh, I forgot the name of my Goliath herd," and I was like, "Oh, do you want me to tell you?"
No, Tingus said that he at one point in life had everything and had all the opportunities in the world and threw it all away, and that once he recovered, he would give back anything and everything that he could to people who need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because I think I made a Robin Hood joke.
Yeah, kind of. But Tingus also does have reason to want to get to know Riven better, because we also, similar to them, we have the whole servitude kind of thing going on. So we
For
have
sure.
we have a way to connect
Yeah.
on that somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that the relationships are starting to really like. That's the first 3 episodes. I feel like we've really started to like flower our relationships with each individually, like in separate couples and stuff like that. Like, it'll be really exciting to see how they flourish.
Because
Yeah.
there's obvious ones, that side
Right.
of the
Yeah,
table,
that-
this side of the table.
Yeah.
Right.
The
Then
fun
now
side.
we're
The fun side, they said.
It's okay. They need to make themselves feel better.
said, let's be real.
That's true. I
He
do
said.
say. Tingus likes to talk, man.
said.
Tingus is center of attraction.
But like we're slowly
Always.
building
Yeah.
those connections across the table. Like some are now being like secondary, like obvious.
Yeah.
Especially with the
Yeah.
explaining of
Well,
We
this-
haven't
Ours is
passed-
one-sided because you don't know what I said,
Yeah.
but
right.
I know what you said.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So you at least know like
Yeah,
there's
I
some
have-
connection
yeah.
here.
I feel
There's
like
the
we
connection
haven't
here.
Seen on screen as much that there is some animosity between Ul'dreyin and
I'm
Kithara.
excited.
It's
to...
come up like once.
Yeah, it's come up twice
Has it?
because the night when she suggested night sailing.
Well, that wasn't on camera though.
True, that's true. That wasn't on camera.
Yeah, that's why I said it's come up
He
about
was
once.
not
I think.
thrilled, and also she doesn't like Saja.
No, I mean I literally hissed
Yeah.
at Sasha.
They hissed
Yeah.
at each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
They don't get along.
Well, and you guys
looking
also,
forward
I
to-
mean, not to like jump forward too much, but like you guys had a little, when you did ask
little-
about
a little
the wings.
spat.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
You guys had a little
Yeah.
spat as well.
Yeah, there was a brief period where some decompressing from what happened
Oh
was able
yeah,
to
where
happen.
you two had your conversation. Let's go find everybody else. Who do you want to go talk to? And I knew for a fact you were like, I'm not going to go talk to Kithara. I was like, okay, definitely.
Oh yeah, I
called
called that across the table the second they did this. It was like, he's talking to me.
I knew Riven was at least going to come to me to like have that conversation post.
You know what's funny? I didn't even do that like higher order brain.
Oh, I knew. I knew. I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Nope.
There's no way because
I just sort of rolled a little coin in my head and
That's
landed
fair.
on Tingus.
Well, to be fair, I could have seen it going either way, just because coach.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
At the same time, I was like, no, there's no way that
Mm-hmm.
Drin would want to talk to
me. Yeah.
I can't
Kithara
wait
about it.
until they have that. I cannot wait until that comes to fore. But I do love that. Yeah, we had some time after we brought all the treasure up onto the deck. We told everyone, hey,
You're getting paid.
you're getting paid, and
getting
also
paid.
the captain is king.
king,
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
love that between being on islands, we have that decompression time because
Yeah.
it really gives us time to have character interaction that sometimes I think you really miss when it's just action.
I love RP games. RP games
too.
are some of the most fun because like as a person, I like to talk. And so giving, dude, I play so many high charisma characters. It's so hard for me to play a low charisma character. Like in my home game right now, I'm playing a low charisma character, and it's just like, as a person, I talk so much, so it's like, all right, how do I just be rude all the time?
Yeah.
Speaking of other islands, briefly.
Damn.
Oh, the new
I
island.
know. New Island.
Rum
I'm so
Island.
upset that
Episode 3.
I'm so upset that I failed my perception check.
Party is just picking up rum for the party. Coronation's happening.
Yep.
Rum shipments are late. You find a Necromancer Tim who is using zombies to make rum to bankroll all of his stuff.
Not
And
paying them.
they are picketing and unionizing at the bottom of the tower.
Love that for them.
Yeah. So mildly
And you all help.
Mildly circling back, though, to when we arrived on the island, the reason why I was really upset about failing that perception check is to do with Captain Scarlet, because he's a necromancer, and I don't know if they went to his island first.
Had they gotten there beforehand?
Yeah, because I'd specifically asked
Because
if I'd
they might
seen
have
any
known
boats
he was a
come up on
necromancer
shore.
because
Right.
They would have known.
they already had dealings with him
Correct.
because it's a deal with the crown for rum.
Correct. So they would have known. So, like,
So is
Right.
the fact that I failed
We need to kill him.
see if any boats came up on
We
shore.
do.
We're
we
killing
do need to
him.
kill him.
Oh,
Well,
Tim's
and
dying.
like, I mean, we don't know what he's doing, but like
It ain't
with
good.
Riven going up to a warded
Getting
room
roasted.
and getting absolutely zapped out of this world. That honestly, that was so fun for me because like I love a door in D&D. It's my favorite thing because
Doors are
it's
the
always
number
the
one,
hardest
I
thing.
love door.
Did successfully pick the lock, by the way.
I know.
It wasn't the lock that made
It wasn't
the
the
problem.
lock. But I also think it, again, like when we're talking about like our characters, like Riven doesn't, even though she is a magic wielder, she doesn't know crap.
Yeah.
She doesn't know crap about things. So she
To
doesn't
look for
know to look for a ward, even though me as a
As a
player,
character, yeah.
I know that like theirs can be traps, theirs can be ward, but she is like an innocent in the way. So she's not gonna look for that, and especially if she's never come across a necromancer
Yeah.
or something like that. Like she's not gonna know that that's a possibility. So I did think that was kind of fun.
That was
to, like,
super fun. I was expecting it to just be magically locked and be like,
Yeah.
oh no, you failed the check. I wasn't
Right.
expecting a glyph of
I
wording.
was. I looked.
Just be
I
like,
saw.
"And dead."
Listen, I was looking at Chris's face, and I was like, "Oh, the door is going to explode."
I look at Chris. I'm a big fan of Curse of Strahd, and there is, obviously there's a necromancer in there. He's a little shit edgelord who has a glyph of warding on his door, and I don't know why my brain went, oh no, it's that all over again.
Yeah.
So we
whacked.
will see more of the party and Tim and
What
how
happens
they get
post
on.
Hashtag
after
we hate Tim.
Yeah, hashtag we hate
Hashtag
Tim.
we
But
hate
also the fact that we
But-
got down there to deal with to get a better look at the picketing zombies, like what is on their
that was
their
fun.
signs, and then Kithara
Crowd
being like,
surfing.
"Hey, we're like, we want to help you," and they're all like, "Rrr," and we're like, I guess I'll just let it happen," and we were like,
okay.
And I was
this
just
is
out here
great.
breaking ankles.
Well, we also learned when they took us to eventually like to their leader.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
we thought was
Which-
the leader was that giant thing, and we almost
We had to fight it.
that
It was
was
a
rough.
test.
That was a rough
Yeah.
I was
fight.
like,
Do
oh,
we
no.
think it was a test, or do we think that Tim sent that creature to kind of like get them in line?
Oh,
Oh, it was like a
Do
kinda
you know
like-
what I
like an
mean? Because
overseer
I mean,
outside of the
I
captain?
know they said
'Cause we
like
know that
3
Tim is
words.
made.
Big. What were the 3 words they said
Just
to
big.
us? Big. No,
Yeah.
there was big. Like
Big.
It was
Big.
just
there was
big.
2 other
They
words. I
said
No,
swear.
I don't know.
Big.
if
Big.
it's the
Big.
other word. Big. Big. Big.
I mean, I am big, but
Big Tim?
Mm,
No, not Big Tim.
big what?
big. I don't remember saying any other words.
I
You
just
did.
remember-
You
No,
actually
you
did.
Yeah.
And I can't
Wait,
remember
I
what
only
it
remember
was.
No, I'm not gonna look it
No,
up.
you
I
can't.
have
You
it-
can't
anyways,
play
it doesn't
the
matter.
audio for
But-
your phone.
I have it
From-
in my notes.
From like what the like those minor words, like you did get the impression that like this was not someone they enjoyed because they didn't help fight it, and
They
like
also
were
didn't hurt
excited.
us
They
when
were
we got
excited.
close.
Yeah, that was another
they,
thing.
and they were like, "Oh, you helped us. You saved us. Like,
They were
let me
cheering.
help you,"
Yeah.
kind of
And
thing.
well, Kithara even was just like, take us to your leader, your
Well, and
captain.
then-
And then they got really excited and was like, big. And,
And
we were
then-
like,
yeah,
When we
Yeah.
defeated it, then we met Peter.
Yeah.
Peter
who's
Rabbit.
Their, who's their much
Peter Rabbit.
more
yeah, like,
Sentient.
where were you,
yeah,
sir?
who is also made by Tim, and we learned from him that
Was
Tim
more
has been
sentient.
really
Yeah.
experimenting with various degrees of success
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
in the
sentience.
levels of sentience he's bringing people back. And one of the things that Peter talked about is one of the big tragedies here is that like these zombies aren't even sentient enough to really realize just how much they're being
Right.
taken
Do,
in.
Yeah.
do we
Right.
leave them? Do we
That is
kill
the
them?
tragedy.
Yeah.
There's a big morality thing there because I think even Kithara's weighing with it like, okay, can we find a way to maybe have one of you guys or we can put someone in charge in some way that does truly care because she
Oh,
doesn't
you,
even
You came up with that idea, huh?
we
no.
both did.
I voiced it.
You voiced it, but I was also thinking
Wow,
it, going,
inner
how do we
fighting.
do it? We both
The fun
roll
side
the-
of the table
roll-
is having
roll,
problems.
roll,
Roll the tape. I said it first.
do you want? Do you want to be paid, or what? Do you want to leave?
It's a mixed bag because if some of the ones you've encountered so far have no idea what's going on.
They're kind of nice.
There are some of us that are the results of him trying to experiment with increased intelligence in what he's bringing back. I am one of what he would call a success, even if imperfect.
That's so sad.
Hear me out. You all want to be paid. What if we kill Tim and you all take over? You get paid. You take over the contract that we have. You all would get paid.
See, we're much more unified.
Yeah.
There's a clash of authority over here.
This is what happens with education.
This is what happens with education. Who's smarter? But like,
Roll for college.
Roll for
guys.
college, dude. Roll for bathtub gin. Just
but like trying to find someone to like watch over them, but then also like, but maybe we should kill them, but like feeling bad about it. Like, because yes, this is an affront to the balance of nature of bringing somebody back. You know, that whole thing we're dealing with balance.
Yeah.
We just got done with
Drin
a
brought that up
trial
a couple times.
Yeah.
of, and obviously
so did
Tybalt's mad.
Tybalt was
Yeah.
actually
Tybalt's
Yeah.
very
pissed.
upset
Drin's
with the process.
pissed about that.
Drin and Tybalt both were incredibly disquieted by the entire
Like
thing.
let's and Kithara's of that mindset of let's figure out what's going on. We can sit and plan, but then also going, we just dealt with balance and like we do need the rum. We don't even know if it like how
right.
much is done.
That kind of is.
do we have them do it to get us what we need in terms of rum and then
Do we also have
take
an
them out
alliance?
back and
And money it and just
But also
we
like
old yeller them.
we,
It's
Yeah.
we
fine.
kind of convinced them a little bit to have like a little bit of an alliance because we do need a fleet. Like we do
Right.
need some
We're pulling
backup
some
because
Aragorn
we
shit.
Well, and that's also
Right,
why
you
I was
know.
like, well, hang on, let's grow the fleet And like, what's more intimidating than zombie pirates?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like,
So
Lord of the
ones-
Rings, Return of the King. I mean, that was some
The
scary
brother.
that
shit.
are more
Yeah.
sentient, we basically came to
Yeah.
something of an agreement with Peter.
They were already
Yeah.
planning on leaving, and they were
Yeah.
But
happy
they-
for the assistance.
Yeah, and
we're
they
like,
were worried
hey.
about, you know, the nonsense who went, and so we
And
kind
then
of
you
fed
can
him up
come
with
back
both.
every
Yeah.
so often and check
Yeah.
in on
Yeah, you can watch after
friends.
yours, but you have freedom to do what you
Right.
want.
And we will at least, even
Pay
though
you.
we're not like fully
Yeah.
in the crown, we're now dealing with the crown. This is
Mm-hmm.
a crown based thing. We want to make sure that the relations are good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think also if this does continue going outside of the crown, say our captain as the new king gets deposed, whatever, I think still having that
You mean
connection
if.
regardless.
Yeah.
I think having that there, if it's still there, is a good allyship, and I kind of
Yeah.
want to keep that in some way.
Well, it also
just
gives
in
us a
case.
base away from the capital.
It's true.
Cause,
Like a kind of weird midway point. 'Cause
Yeah.
There's basically nothing there except for like a tower and maybe some.
right, but it's still an island that we know where we can go
yes,
that we're not
that
going
is
to be
pirate friendly.
Yeah, that we're not going
Yeah.
to immediately be murdered.
As we start to plan and look forward,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
to wind this episode down, I think we should go around the table a little bit. Either a question still unanswered that either I might be able to answer, or something you're looking forward to next couple episodes.
Yeah. Oh, I have questions that I know you can't answer because we have to explore it in game. But it's like I want to know more about Tybalt. I want to know what his whole allegiance is in terms of like
also follow.
right, like where does he get his powers from? But also like he does tech things. Like what can he make? What can he do
Yeah,
for
that's
the
true.
boat?
Because we learned what
Yeah.
part of like.
Well, because he
school
made his own
Catkins.
prosthetic,
Yeah.
and like, well, can he make bigger implementations, or it's like maybe we can beef up the ship and have it be more efficient, or like see what else he can do for that.
Yeah.
Without spoilers,
I don't want any answers. I wanted the hypotheticals.
Tybalt is the NPC you'll be spending the most time with.
I
had a
figured.
feeling.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that he was going to join the ship just because, like, us as a party, we don't have a healer.
Oh, I don't
And
care about that.
I know you don't care about that.
Party compositions for losers.
Yeah.
I can cure wounds.
Oh yeah, that's also
I was gonna
true.
say
I'm
we
a druid.
both have cure
Sure.
wounds.
You guys are.
Yeah.
You
Hey,
guys
hey,
are-
I got you
Sure.
up in that
You did.
fight.
You did.
I want credit.
You did. I was fully ready for Tingus to die.
You were
be like, well, if he dies,
you're
he
like, we have
dies.
no healers. How quick are you to forget that I got you up in that
I
fight?
didn't forget. I just glossed over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. That he kind of would be with us wherever
Yeah.
we go post Captain King.
Yeah. Maybe to keep an eye on us as King's assets. Who knows?
Oh, maybe.
Who knows? We'll see.
What are you looking at or thinking?
I think one of the big things is what is Drin? I think I have that all in caps on my notes. Is what is Drin and why does he have wings? Obviously, that's going to be explored in game in some way. If we're going to beat it out of you in some way, shape, or form. What? But I think another thing that I'm truly thinking of, at least with Kithara on her own, and like she has the bowl and the journal. Is it, even though this bowl is magical, did we just make up the idea that maybe there is a giant, like a scale, we need to
Yeah.
find the two other
Yeah, right.
pieces? Or is this just a kind of wild goose chase that like we're just kind of making up because it makes sense for where we were? My whole thing is trying to figure out, okay,
I mean,
maybe it's not a sword, or is it this thing, or is this like, yes, there's a sword and there's this balance thing, or are they technically the same thing?
Yeah,
the
like
sword
what
would
if
be the
is
bar
that
for the
the
scale.
weapon? Yeah. That is an
That
intriguing
like
thought.
that's how I'm looking at it, and she will absolutely be poring over the book to see in the most
What other
delicate of way because
information?
it's deteriorating.
Yeah.
She pulls out the white gloves,
Yes.
goes to the conference room. There is a very clean room there.
Yeah.
She's just like,
I'll
Because
go
no
full
one uses
national
it.
treasure
does no
on
one
it.
use it? Yeah, I go national treasure and just going, all right, to kind of figure out like where they've been, where were there additional possibilities. Can we potentially, depending on what our next quests and explorations are, do we go back to some of those places?
Yeah.
And see if we can learn more, especially with the fact that, a lot of these gods and deities are gone. There's a little bit of remnants. There's things coming back. But truly, what does this mean in the grand scale of, like, divine,
Scale.
like, artifacts?
Punjar.
Scale. Oh. Okay.
Punjar.
See, sometimes it's not just Riven that doesn't understand things. It's also Maeve.
What's what's the scale of this?
That's what makes a good character.
Yeah,
when it's just
exactly.
you.
Exactly.
So I think that's kind of my thing is the whole, what is this artifact? Are we on a wild goose chase? Is she on the right line of thinking of this could be a thing? And I know that's such a big question. That's very spoilery, asking behind the screen, like, am I on some sort of a good track mind for that, or am I just stupid?
Yeah.
And the red
Yeah.
strings in my brain are going, but what if?
Yeah.
Because that's how my brain works.
Well, it's also just like we haven't had time to explore that.
Yeah,
Like we identified it as magic, but like we didn't get
Yeah,
anything
Drin
past
Drin
that.
was able to identify that it
Yeah,
was a
like we haven't been
magical
able to do anything
Or
with
what
it.
it does. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, I am really, it's more of like a kind of a statement question. I'm really curious to see how the captain will be received
Yeah.
as the captain king or king captain, captain king. Because, I mean, yes, we have Tybalt that will like validify his story, but like, will people be after him? I feel like that's an obvious yes, but like, what will that look like, and what will that kind of like entail when they go to party for the coronation? Like, how hostile will people be? How accepting will it be? Will it just kind of be like, okay, now it's almost like a civil war in a way of like pirates, especially because we do have the element like of the kingdom against like the pirate, like will this cause like turmoil in political sphere?
We'll go back to the idea that what if Mai got back? That was one of the things we were talking about was what if Mai got back there first to be like, these people killed her and she didn't know that Kithara wasn't the captain. So what if we get there and like, they're like her and I'm like,
Not me.
Right, exactly.
But then we have Tybalt supposed to vouch, to be this person to vouch, but like, what is it going to be like when we first get there?
Right.
I'm just watching
I'm-
Chris's
I'm
face for
fully
micro
going-
expressions.
He's so excited. He's
I
like,
am fully expecting people to
excellent.
like make assassination attempts on the captain during
yeah.
the coronation
absolutely.
party.
For sure.
100%.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah. And I am not ignorant in thinking that like there's not going to be any like people going after him, but I do feel like will there be people on our side in a way too, because they hated Captain Scarlet,
she was a
because
villain.
she was
Yeah.
cruel,
She was cruel,
like
yeah.
and all of that kind of stuff. So like what will that look like? What will the dynamic? I'm just very excited
is
to
this
see
Yeah.
how that's gonna turn out.
Chris is just
Yeah.
smiling like,
It's you, buddy.
and
I
then-
noticed that
and
Chris
then
didn't
there
respond
was
to the
one.
last two people.
well,
because
yeah,
they're all
they're
hypothetical.
I know.
They're
That
being
also,
being-
yeah, Kyle's was like, we're figuring
Yeah.
out next episode.
Yeah,
like
I knew that, but
there's a lot of things I'm excited. I think like I'm very much a lore hound and also a character hound, so I want to know more about why everyone's on the ship. I really want to know, because here's the thing. It doesn't take being in our captain's presence that long to realize that he's not amazingly well suited for the role. So if we all ended up on this boat, presumably through interacting with him, that takes a certain kind of person
right.
to still end up on the boat.
Well, we
Right.
also this is another session 0 thing where we did like those small little things of like how did we get to the boat, but that was us personally from our side of things rather than everyone
the
else
crew
knowing.
doesn't
And
know.
we and here's the thing,
Yeah.
we all know some very surface level things about each other.
Right.
And that was
Yeah.
kind of discussed off screen. So how do we gather more information to kind of like
think-
scratch the surface?
Yeah, with
Yeah.
you, like Drin, thankfully, my thoughts and Drin's thoughts overlap pretty closely here. But with you, Drin's thoughts and my thoughts are, you don't fit.
Correct.
So what made you go from whatever life you were in to this
Yeah.
life? Because
Right.
there's clearly a big jump here. You make the most sense, kind of. But it's also like what causes, especially after
Someone so
what she said from the
talented.
book. Yeah.
Yeah.
What causes someone so clearly so talented to decide I'm going to follow an incompetent fool, and then
Yeah.
you.
No, Riven, I think, is the one that makes the most sense to be on the boat.
Riven,
Yeah,
okay, Riven.
She's just a
so
free spirit.
Riven makes
Like,
the most
the
sense to be on the boat
Yeah.
because she straight up told Drin when they were up in the crow's nest, what it is that she loves about piracy, and it's the life of it all. But I want to know your deal with the whole
Brought
you
to
were
this
brought
plane?
To this plane. What do you mean you were brought to this plane? So that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Secret.
So hopefully you enjoyed that and you're looking forward to seeing where this adventure takes everyone. If you'd like to tune in, please do Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here.